Welcome back to the training on the ATEM Mini Extreme. And this is the device we're going to be putting in schools. It does has a lot of creativity, a lot of functionality. And it's really simple to use, even though it looks kind of intimidating with all the buttons. Let me have you take another look here. So we did talk about in a previous video about all these buttons up here, what they do. And again, not to worry about those at this point. Because we're not really going to use, most of them we're not even going to use actually. But here's what we're going to talk about today. These are the input buttons. This would be like camera 1, camera 2, 3 would be your computer, because in most instances you're going to have 2 cameras and a computer hooked up to it. Now that's going to give you a lot of creativity. You're going to be able to switch back and forth. If you're a Google Slide person, you're going to be able to pull those up. If you go to YouTube and want to roll a video, you're going to pull that up from the computer. Then you're going to mix it with your cameras. It also has the capability of doing green screen, which I have a green screen behind me here actually, and I'll show you that in another video. But it does really a lot of different things. So, but here's how it works. You'll notice that this button number 4 is red because that's what is preview. That's the program, and that's what's going out right now, the red. The green is preview, which basically means that's the next thing you'll see when you do a transition. So the transition buttons are here, and you'll see it says cut, auto, and this one is fade to black. So if I wanted to switch to the preview, which is number 3, I could either cut directly, and there it is, a direct cut, or I can do what's called a dissolve or a transition when I hit auto. Now in that instance, the program fades out and the preview fades in. So it's a little bit more pleasing on the eye. There are multiple types of transitions that this does, and you'll find out that there's one that maybe will fit what you want to use it for. For instance, here's like a little circle. Here's another wipe that goes that way. So, but in most instances, the normal one is what's called a dissolve. It's a little bit more pleasing on the eye. So, okay, so let's take another look here now. So these are the buttons here. Also, there's these smaller buttons, or what's called like the media player 1. If that's what this button is, I'll hit that. And let's see what's in it. So I'm going to transition. There's media player 1. And that's really used for a background. So I'm going to come back out of that. Then there's media player 2, where there's another background you could use. And then there's something called a super source. And I really would like to explain that at another time, but I just want to show you briefly what it is. A super source is the ability to pick different settings, and I'm going to go here to the software, and different pictures here, and could be really useful, and it could be, you could set it up the way you want it. So that's super source. Let's go out of that now. And again, this is the dangerous button here. It's called fade to black. I've been to a lot of schools with like, we can't see any picture. We don't know what happens. Like, oh yeah, fade to black. Anyway, not to make light of that. I'm just saying it's a dangerous button. So you don't really need, at the end of a show, if you want to fade to black, that's fine. So the reason we have it set up this way, and you can see the last button I pressed was super source, and that's why it's green, but I don't want that. I'm going to say, no, I want to go to camera 3 next. So I set it up here, and there's camera 3 next. Then I just do my transition. And there you go. So, I mean, it's really not that complicated, and it's pretty simple. So don't worry about all the buttons. Once we get you set up, we're going to go through the simple setup for you to do your new show. And then there's like a lot of buttons to grow into. So don't worry about them right away. All right, I guess that's all I got for you now. And I'll stay tuned for some more advanced training. I'm going to show you how to do chroma key and other effects that this thing's capable of. Okay, thank you and enjoy.